everyone, welcome back to another Slime Fun Tips and Tricks episode with your host Boomer. Today we're doing something unique in that quite often I see on players' bases where they're setting up their network for the first time. And instead of using only what's needed, I'll see players use 2, 3, even 4 or 5 times the number of cargo nodes necessary to set their network up. So what I want to show you today is how to efficiently and minimally use networks to not make and have to craft extra ones that you don't need, to waste them and potentially, contribute to the server lag. So behind me here to start with, here we go. This is what I see a lot of the time. I will see somebody who sets up, if it's this clean even, with essentially what boils down to 8 cargo nodes, including the cargo manager. This is obviously what should be able to get done with 2. Something this small you wouldn't even stack. You would lay it out 4 horizontally. The energy regulator would take care of the smelteries. The cargo manager and 1 cargo node going from this way or going the other way would work perfectly fine, and you would not need any of these additional nodes on the end. Even here, these 4 are not necessary. Even just stacking this, because cargo nodes go, if you want to extend it, you leave 5 spaces between the cargo nodes. If you're truncating it, you're stopping it from going any further, then you can do up to 6 machines. But then you can't continue in that direction unless you alter your build. So when people start get going, here's another thing that I see. That they'll start to streamline a little bit, and they'll put capacitors over here, and they'll put capacitors over here, and you've got cargo on both sides. Now, this is stacked right, but again, all of this is not necessary for the smeltery to run. Because you have capacitors, remember, power goes 7 blocks. So the capacitor that was here wasn't giving any extra power to these smelteries already. Cargo can run 5 up to 6 if you include the connector. So having these connectors here, the only thing those would have done would have been to allow you to continue going down that way. However, instead of going that way with more capacitors and more cargo connectors, instead of going that way, you'd go this way. Remember, again, they can cover, shut that off, 5 additional machines in each direction. So why would you craft more capacitors and cargo manager or cargo connectors when you can simply, or you already have it in place, go off the other side? Why base all those cargo nodes, right? So, all right, so here we go. Here's what I start to see then. People are expanding, and we've got capacitor, cargo, cargo, capacitor, cargo, cargo, capacitor, cargo, cargo. While this is an improvement, there's something that's still not needed in this mix. So I'm going to give you 5 seconds to figure out. There's 1 block I can cut out of this. Now you figure, okay, 1 out of 6, that's not saving a ton of materials, and you're right, it's not. But it can still be more efficient. Good cup of coffee. So you can either cut out this one or this one. And you say, well, these aren't being hit by the cargo connector nodes, but they are. This one is covering 5 blocks this way and 5 blocks this way. We'll say, well, how is this one being powered? Because clearly it's connected, right? Well, it's connected from here through the 1 in the middle. Now the capacitor you still need, or you could use an energy connector to get your power onto this side. All right. Now you want to expand. That's horizontal. What about vertical? How does this work vertically? Well, it's kind of the same thing, right? You've got your either your energy regulator or your connector on the bottom, and you put your machines directly above it, and then you put your cargo on either side. But again, this is not that efficient because we're now putting more in the middle. These 2 data connectors would not be needed. Now you put the cargo manager either here or here, but they're still not needed down there because you're not going any further down. And I've even seen sometimes, well, they'll put them on the top. Here's how this should be set up instead. Put your cargo manager on one side, put your connector node on the other, put your energy connector or capacitor in the middle and your power source right behind it. Or because power can go 7 blocks, you could even, oops, I broke it. No, put my smeltery back. You could even put it underneath it. You could put your power source down here, bury it, and take it off of there. And your system will still have power and will still run. But what if you want to go boomer? Yeah, this is boomer sized. 200 smelteries. I've never actually put this many down, so it did take a while to set this up. The biggest I think I've done in any build was somewhere around 110, 120. But let's just say I'm making, I don't know, 10 billion of something, right? I need an insane amount of smelted ingots. So what do? How do you efficiently set this up? Well, if you're going to do it stacking it this direction, okay, smack dab in the middle, you have a capacitor stack going from bottom to top, and you have your cargo stacked from bottom to top. It goes 5 blocks this way and 5 blocks this way. Why don't I have anything in the middle? All I've got, boy, I've got so many of these things, it's actually lagging me a little bit. I've got one cargo manager, and I have one energy connector, and that one energy connector brings power over from that side, and it didn't have to be at the top. It could have been at the bottom. As long as one of them connects, they all connect. So you don't need them in the middle. All you're doing is, now if you want to store extra power in capacitors, that's fine, but they're not needed. That's the point I want to get across, is that a lot of people would put 10 more capacitors and 20 more cargo connector nodes here in the middle, and you don't need it. I have the cargo manager in the middle just because I chose to do so. And you go, okay, so how's this all connected again? Well, same thing. I could very easily have put the power underground. Put the power energy regulator in the middle somewhere. I could have put it on the floor. I could have put it anywhere within 7 blocks of the energy regulator. And all of this is connected. And this is still stackable. This could go up to the sky. This could go up to build limit just by following this pattern right here. Okay? Just take that all the way up. It'll go to build limit. It'll go down to bedrock. If you wanted to go the other way, instead of going like this and you wanted to stack it vertically, okay? Let's say you're doing this route. Guess what? Just duplicate everything in this middle row coming this way or going that way. Just put another energy connector, and a capacitor, and then stack your machines above or below. And that's all there is to it. This will give you, because especially in the beginning, right? You're trying to get your cargo network set up. It's so expensive to get going when you don't have a lot for resources. And so with that, guys, I thank you for watching. If you've got any questions, anything else, any other tips, ideas, or tricks that you'd like to see, please leave them in the comments below. But remember, when you're setting up your cargo network, you gotta go boomer or you gotta go home. We'll see you later.